Outsiders call this place the Dragon Museum. Pleased to meet you. My name is Ulan, and I oversee this city of origin. Here, you can learn the tales of the ancestors who received the wisdom and blessing of the seventh witch born from Lebreska's first death. For my veins carry the blood of the one who brought this calamity upon the mountain of eternal winter. As a descendant of Silver Frond, I sought to atone for his past sins by renouncing the city and settling here in the highlands. Even when the other descendants of Silver Frond responded to the Great Founder's call, abandoning their original settlements and gathering beneath the forbidden Black Mountain, we chose to remain here and guard this place in the Mountain of Eternal Winter as living witnesses to history. Oh, all of these relics were collected by us members of the Dragon Appreciation Society. Simply put, all of us here are what you might call dragon aficionados. There's countless dragon relics yet to be found, scattered all over the globe. Go on, take your time, and have a good long look around. If you found yourself here, all on your own, then maybe, someday, you may find yourself amongst our ranks as a member of the DAS. No? Fine, I'll stop proselytizing for now. Sit the dragon Lebreska, scourge of all dragonkind. She devoured the hearts of her kin, and thus reigned over the Golden Mountain. Long into her rule, and with all who would seek to challenge her slain, a flame appeared. Was this a trick of the gods, or a test? And so it was that Lebreska came to possess the god-consuming flame, Yeenix. She used this flame to challenge the authority of those gods. But she underestimated them. They tore from her body all wing and all limb, and wrought eternal winter upon Golden Mountain, so its name and glory would be forever lost. It was in this pitiful state that Lebreska experienced her first death, laying herself to rest in the haven of slumbering origin. The flame nestled deep in her heart. But from Lebreska's first death, 7 beings awoke, who, in the village below the mount, came to be known as the 7 Witches of Everfrost. Bronte, Witch of Thunder, she who rends the dragon's wings. Cahel, Witch of Blight, she who rots the dragon's claws. Sethra, Witch of Rifts, she who splits the dragon's scales. Lesha, Witch of Fever, she who drains the dragon's energy. Marsh, Witch of Swamps, she who binds the dragon's ankles. Owena, Witch of Ruin, she who collapses the dragon's airways. And last but not least, Arethia, Witch of Erasure, she who expunges all fear of dragons. Lebreska, Keeper of the Golden Mountain, even at the brink of death, bestowed upon us a gift. For from her death did these 7 witches arise, who used their mystical powers to protect us from the fearsome dragons. Many moons passed under their protection, but we knew the 7 witches would one day die and herald in an era of misfortune where we would have to fight the dragons ourselves. While its golden hue is now obfuscated by blanketed snow, May the sun reflecting off its frosty peak be an eternal reminder of Golden Mountain's glory. Sadly, that era of misfortune came sooner than expected, for fate is a cruel mistress, and she will not be denied. Erethia, the Witch of Erasia, fell in love with the human Silver Frond, and in doing so, neglected her sworn duty. The 6 witches recanted the wisdom and blessings they had bestowed upon Silver Frond, then slew Erethia with Libresca's fang. The once forgotten fear of dragons resurfaced, suffocating the humans who trembled in fear at this apparent curse wrought by the 6 witches. Play with the flames of love, and you will be burned. Grief-stricken and fearing for his life, Silver Frond made his way to Orzeka, seeking the god that grants all wishes. The god told Silver Frond that he must retrieve the Yeenix, the holy flame still in the embrace of the dead golden dragon, if his wish is to be granted. So Silver Frond ascended the mountain of eternal winter, only to find Libresca alive, living her second life. There, he learned of the Yeenix's true might, that it has the power to consume gods, and realized that he had been deceived by the wish-granting god. Can fate ever be denied? For just as he had with Erethia, when Silver Frond's eyes fell upon Libresca in that fateful encounter, he fell blindly in love with her. And Libresca, who clung to life just barely thanks to the Yeenix, found comfort in the lonely human before her. And the mountain of eternal winter soon saw a warmer winter unfold. But then the Knights of Dawn arrived, seeking to bring an end to the God of Wishes. They persuaded Silver Frond to carry the Yeenix to him. I vow to return, for I know this flame is your life, promised Silver Frond to Libresca as he set off. The 6 witches had no choice but to allow Silver Frond to leave for Orzeka with the Yeenix, for the golden dragon Libresca had granted it. But no sooner had he left, a deathly winter descended upon the mountain. It seemed that Libresca's second life had come with a price. For something dwelt inside her, something that the Yeenix had kept at bay. But with the Yeenix gone, it now consumed her from within. It felt as though an eternity had passed, but still Silver Frond had not returned. In time, Libresca's eyes grew dim, and her memories faded like dreams. Eventually, the small sliver of hope she clung to evaporated, and with it a great calamity befell the mountain of eternal winter. There are no witches to protect us now. It is now up to us to defend ourselves against the dragons, proclaimed the one now known as the Great Founder. I have many more a tale to tell, but the beauty of adventuring is finding them for yourself, no? Not to mention, there's someone waiting for you outside. Stop by again sometime. The City of Origin is always open.
There you are! We should set off for the city Highland border as quick as possible. Our Dark Knight is being questioned as we speak. I guy even told Customs he was just some random adventurer, too. Who would have thought they'd be such a sharp bunch? It doesn't help that he straight up told them where he was from when they asked. Always acting all dark and dashing. I can't just stand around. Help me break him out and get to the Oak Pill Research Lab.
Suspicious-looking individuals may not enter here. Know that I, PETA, am always watching closely.
These are the talented blacksmiths from the Gavinia Great Crater who have taken on the Highland Bond and been invited to the Highlands.
While the day and time whence we were born may differ, here in this place, may we exist as one body and mind together. Here, write down your city-worn name and take your hill-sworn. Next!
These are master fishers from Cranea who have taken the Highland Bond and been invited to the Highlands.
Any experience with ice fishing?
That wasn't part of our agreement, but, that won't be an issue.
Good! Of course it wouldn't be an issue. While the day and time whence we were born may differ, here in this place may we exist as one body and mind together. The citron orchard nearby is practically a Papu paradise.
Shush! Let's keep that to ourselves.
You're right. Next!
While grateful for your previous offer, we Aker must respectfully decline. We could never imagine existing alongside the Vidir.
I see. I suppose you need some more time to think about it, yes? Next! Ooh, are you the friend of this liar? I'll conduct a simple test of truth to see if you truly are friends.
So many meaningless steps to confirm the comings and goings of one man.
Silence! Don't you dare try to pull a fast one on me. We have no vacancy for liars like you in the Highlands. Especially with how low the public sentiment has become nowadays. Never thought I'd live to see the day where the Highlands would be overrun with suspicion. I thought the stories of poison oak pills were mere fiction, and yet it's been revealed that the Oak Pill research labs were robbed.
Are we getting fired?
Before I have to take responsibility and relinquish myself from this position, I shall uncover the truth behind this mysterious interloper. Now, a test that will surely uncover the truth. Any real adventurer could easily answer these questions. First question. Patrigio's leopard's name is Naru.
That's not even a question. True. Next.
Second question. The symbol of Kelfion is the eagle.
True, though it's certainly a weary old eagle.
Third. Serendia's princess, Jarette, is infamous for her stubbornness.
If your rumor-mongering continues, this will be your final interrogation.
It appears you do speak the truth. Your identity is cleared, so I shall grant you access to the records.
Nothing.
Let me see. That one. Said they lost their memory. Looked a bit ill. Kept muttering some phrase over and over again, right?
Perfect being, perfect being, perfect being. They kept repeating that. That's why the captain took them to the Oak Pill Research Lab. To see if they could treat them.
Perfect being, eh? It wasn't their memory they lost. More like their free will.
So you're not an adventurer, but a detective by trade, hmm? My apologies for the mix-up. But tell me, why do you think so?
Their handwriting. It looks too erratic, like it was forced. I speak from experience.
Oh, did you say perfect being? That's the mantra of the Sezek Barbarians. I may have overheard it while I was doing a bit of schmoozing over at Camp Balix. I know this is all super important, but let's go to the Oak Pill Research Lab first. They may have completed analyzing the pill's composition by now.
humans came to despise Silverfrond, but we are ever in his debt. This is the place where he researched methods of transporting the Yeenix. It required much wisdom to be imparted by Labreska herself. To make use of her wisdom, we created the Oak Pill. I can't believe it. The poison drawn from the fang of that monster at Snowstorm Guard Post, and the poison in the Oak Pill, are one and the same.
It was the devious actions of that monster? It didn't seem that intelligent. Our shaman Invish didn't mention seeing such a monster on the path of prophecy either.
Blind faith in prophetic paths is folly. For if all prophecies came to fruition, this world would already be in ruin.
Please report these findings to the shaman Invish. This is a new ordeal facing the Mountain of Eternal Winter.
The witches smiled, but inside they were weeping. They who had thrown themselves in a pit of deep despair. Why, and for what? I cannot see it. Past the day the festivities should have been held, what was Arethia trying to tell us?
On the day the Khan entered the woods, the chief of the Oak Jinshini uttered something much the same. For that day was supposed to be a day of celebration. The day when the seal of the tablet left by the seventh witch was to be broken.
But the reason why the witch's tablet has remained sealed in separate parts until now is not because we have yet to reach the end of our path of prophecy. No, it's more like this was all part of the grand design from the start, in order to reveal a distant future that may occur.
But don't the stone tablets say that the closer we are to the end of the path of prophecy, the more the seal on the tablets will weaken?
That was probably so we would not forget about the future that she herself was so worried would unfold.
On that day, which was supposed to be a celebration for our Bets and Oak Jinshini alike, a mysterious explosion occurred at the Shere Khan Iron Mines. Maybe that explosion awakened the very thing the witch feared.
Do you suppose it had anything to do with that strange monster no one had ever seen or heard of?
During all the chaos that occurred on that day, there were some who took the opportunity to flee from that place.
I believe they'll be able to enlighten us more on what exactly happened on that day.
Oh, aren't you? Give me a moment. I will hide your dark presence. The marking on your skin, the shackles are bound to react to it.
At the outskirts of the Mountain of Eternal Winter lies a place called Pilgrim's End. These poor souls barely made it out of Odilita, only to be swindled upon reaching Pilgrim's End.
Wasn't even looking for a good place. Felt wherever there were humans, we could start anew.
That inhumane scum took us to the Shere Khan Iron Mines.
I don't remember this place being so overrun with scumbags. It's just like with that goblin. He was heading to the citron orchards from Awena's Tale, but was accidentally led to the charcoal burner.
In Calpheon, there's a saying, "Don't blink or you might lose your nose." The upstanding citizens of Hydael could never imagine such a thing.
Anyway, I've got some meal tickets for some top quality dishes. Would you be so kind as to hand them out?
These poor souls barely made it out of Odilita, only to be swindled upon reaching Pilgrim.
It was swarming with those Sezek barbarians. They seemed to be pretty well organized, to be honest.
Care to share exactly what happened on the day of the Shere Khan Iron Mine explosion?
They made us pile something all day long. Never really told us what it was exactly.
But that's what exploded. I'll bet my life. All because the perfect being began to cry out.
What did you say just now? Perfect being?
There's a priest the Sezek barbarians call the perfect being.
A few of the Seziks tried to challenge his authority, but got themselves executed by their Baal Salvaro. They said stuff like, "Perfect being, my crusty behind," and that Dayan, he's just a human runaway from Dregan.
Dayan? I remember seeing him when he was on the run in Dregan, a human winning the favor of all the Seziks. It's unheard of, especially when it appears he joined them immediately after being cast out from Dregan.
Just as they mentioned in the Oak Pill research labs. Is there some unknown entity pulling the strings from the shadows?
That's enough. He may look all right on the outside, but he's suffering from internal wounds. Moreover, if we aren't able to break those shackles, it's only a matter of time before the Ahib come knocking.
I suggest they be moved as far away as possible, at least until their shackles are broken. This place is still far too close.
Please, you have to protect us. We shall flee to the ends of the earth if we have to. Anything but returning to that hellhole.
Hell is found all over. But once my business here in the Mountain of Eternal Winter is done, I shall help you find a place to settle. Stay strong for now.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but I think we should grab some grub before heading out again.
Get a fresh pint of Ailton Ale with a splash of sweet goat's milk.
Once I came to, I realized I was not in Achman, but in History of Ruins.
I told you to seek out the alchemist Karashu at the Sandgrain Bazaar.
I have a more interesting tale to share with you. Say, don't suppose you know the true identity of Deboreka?
Somewhere people the world over can gather.
Greetings. If you've come to eat, I need to see your meal ticket.
Meal ticket?
Huh? What? The meal ticket? My meal ticket! My meal ticket! Sorry. I had so many tickets and there were so many hungry faces. I think I just got caught up and gave them all away.
No meal ticket, huh? I can still offer you a chance to taste my cooking. That is, only if you play a match with me. A match of what, you ask? Recently, some adventurer crossed over from Balanos and taught me this game called Yar. Just one match, and if you win, I'll feed you myself. Otherwise, go purchase a meal ticket.
Yar? Hey! Anyone here know how to play Yar?
Secret of my cooking? Well, I never bother weighing ingredients. I've worked long and hard on my cooking. Your compliment was the best I've gotten. It's almost done. So what? The folk here may all look ordinary. But over there, that person was once known as the best blacksmith in all of Keplen. And that one, the greatest farmer in all of Ilya Island. The Abets are quite skilled at recruiting the most talented folk from all over the continent.
I can smell the egotism wafting off of you like aromatics. But I'll admit, this food smells much better than I had anticipated.
Your nose is not wrong, for I am the cooking guru of Dregan. Here you go. This is my objectively delicious Ailton specialty meal.
It appears our journey together is almost at its end. We've already reached the trial of the Fifth Witch. I thought it'd be a quiet trek to retrieve the Yenix, but we've practically worn holes in our boots. The conflict between the Oak Jinshini and the Abets. It all began with a poisoned oak pill. We've suspected Dayan of being the mastermind, and yet, as the Oak Jinshini chief mentioned earlier, he lit only the spark. The sooner the Yenix resting in the haven of slumbering origin is extinguished, the quicker all this strange phenomena will end.
If we succeed, I suppose you'll be hailed as a hero in these parts as well. Look at that fox, living only for today. I hope we can find his brother. It's been some time since I've seen a place so filled with human aroma. What will I do once I've erased the burden of this mark? Once this journey ends, I shall disappear to a corner of Balanos unbeknownst to all. Together with Jarette, I wish to work the lands there. Some children, perhaps. 3 is a good number. 2 sons and a daughter. If the children take after their mother, it will be quite the lively household.
The Fifth Witch is Sethra, the Witch of Rifts. The eye that climbed out of Hell's depths hungers. Only the infinite life force of the Highlands can satisfy it?
Seek out Gonzarig in the Highlands, and if you need my aid, send word by his hawk.
You aided us at Bronte's boat, and now we are in your debt once more.
No. We are the ones indebted to the two of you, for the Zavir Highlands are the first home of the Abets, even though one of the totems has been destroyed, and all have been evacuated due to the Dreadwinter trees taking root all over.
Dreadwinter trees have been sighted there as well? You should go on ahead. I need to have a word with Tabudai.
I'll go speak with my fleeing fox squad and let them know that even the Oak Jinshini are crying foul about this.
The Zavir Highlands were abandoned by humans early on, so it was quite easy for us to settle down here. Gaining the wisdom of Sethra, the Witch of Rifts, did not come without its price. Let my veins spread like spiderwebs beneath the highlands, absorb the life force of the surface. Those humans offered as living sacrifices to the witch didn't last for long, and upon the witch's demise, the settlement was quickly abandoned by the humans. We made their former first settlement into one of our own, and up until quite recently, had maintained it as such. We did so for the sake of the hawk and leopard abets, who had gone beyond the mountain of eternal winter long ago during our time in the highlands. But this too was their home. As we tended the land, we often left out some meat they enjoyed. Though they would never again return, wild animals would frequent our settlement and eat to their heart's content. Seeing this gave us some small relief, knowing the hawk and leopard abets would have some sanctuary to return to, at least before the leopard totem was destroyed. Sethra's vase would always give off such a pleasant fragrance. It absorbed the life energy of the creatures that gathered around each totem, a sign that the health of the highlands was in a good state. However, when the totem was destroyed, the abets guarding the remaining ones retreated, for none quite knew what threat the lurking danger posed.
The eye that climbed out of hell's depths hungers. Only the infinite life force of the highlands can satisfy it. Only by returning the creatures to the highlands can we overcome the witch's trial.
When I was young, there was a fierce typhoon that nearly blew away all the settlements in the highlands. Back then, I helped rebuild the highlands, alongside my father and brother.
But the highlands are a dangerous place now. You and Lando should work on restoring the settlements, while I keep an eye on the Dreadwinter tree rooted in the highlands.
I'll go check on the other settlements. Go check the Hawkabet settlement. It's the closest.
We performed the cleansing ritual of the totems with reverence for our forefathers.
It's in better condition than I thought. When I went to see the Foxabet settlement, it was in complete ruins. Now you've got to hunt. We need to attract hawks. Snowfield Illypicas or Snowfield Markors will do. Here, use this matchlock. Where did I get the matchlock? Don't worry about it. A con-to-be has a secret or three. Get moving. If you keep making excuses to slack off, I'll tell our Sorendian drill instructor. Snowfield Illypicas or Snowfield Markors will do. books will fly in soon enough. About the matchlock? My secret? Endless pockets, baby! When I had no idea that my father was Khan, my dream was to be a jack of all trades, just because it seemed cool to help people by carrying all kinds of things. But my little brother's dream was to become like Muad. His dream was to climb up the mountain of eternal winter. He said that with his white fur, he'd be good at camouflage. It came out of nowhere, honestly. He only chuckled when I asked him what he was thinking. But he kept on pestering Father about climbing up the mountain. That's why I made him these mountaineer clothes. I thought feeling like one might be enough to keep him here. Oh, look over there! They're finally here! Whoa, they're really going to town. I feel full just looking at them. Next up is the home of the Dirabets. Gonzarig restored the whole place this morning. All we need to do is attract the herbivores. They are very cautious, though. There's a tip that Father taught me. We need snowflake stoneback crabs. The winter flowers on their backs give off a very pungent smell. You'll find snowflake stoneback crabs hiding around the highlands if you look carefully. They used to only inhabit the mountain of eternal winter. But they came all the way down here as if sensing some strange energy from the mountain. You know, these things are worth asking while hunting. They say a blade dulls with use, but wow. Next up is the home of the Dirabet. Look at me and my connections coming through again. The animals would be disappointed if we didn't have delicious fruit, right?
We are here from Moslim's Eula Citron Orchard to help restore the Zavir Highlands. I'm so very excited. I hope they really enjoy them.
I could kind of start understanding my little brother's behavior once I knew about the Path of Prophecy. The wise Invish told us that we all take different paths, but each of us are destined to reach the end of that path. I realize now that my little brother was always walking along his path, but I haven't even found where the path starts yet. The path my little brother took was surely not one to be taken by a Foxabats. Since we cannot climb the mountain, I think he disguised his desire with light-hearted jokes.
Oh, they're gathering! Wow! What are they? So many animals I've never seen before. We're leaving now. Lando, don't forget your promise to promote our citron orchard once you finish your journey.
So maybe I said something about offering to promote them. Sure, the world's all about give and take. By the way, where has our dark son disappeared to? He's not possibly taking a nap, is he? I'll go find him and teach him a lesson. You work on restoring the Foxabet settlement. Yeah. This might require a bit of, muscle power. That's why I gave you the almighty axe. Go fell things. So maybe I said something Oh, look at it! Completely restored! If I was a lady fox, I'd be head over heels. It's magnificent! But as a representative of the Foxabettes, I will bow in respect as a sign of thanks. I think they're already here! Oh, quick! Over here! This feels good, doesn't it? If they're brave enough to venture out, why is it so hard for me to just gather the courage to climb up the mountain? I lied to my little brother. I told him that Father had gone to prove that even we can climb the mountain. I couldn't bear to tell him that maybe the reason our father had been gone for so long was because he had passed from this world. No. Actually, if I'm being completely honest, I hated seeing him wake up each morning whining and crying. I thought that he'd give up if I told him that. But the next day, he was gone. He left only a letter stamped with his paw that said that he was going to climb the mountain. We can't climb it, though. We can cross the sea and travel the desert, but not that mountain.
You are still very chatty. You can traverse the sea, the desert, and that mountain is no different. Your fear comes from the fact that you haven't experienced it yourself. I'm not ignoring the traditions of your people, but the source of your fear comes from words passed down. That's all. It's ridiculous to say that one invites death by simply climbing a mountain. Have you seen any that prove those words to be true? If I were you, I'd test their veracity myself. If you've resolved to climb the mountain, then I will accompany you. In order to do that, we must complete the trial here. I saw the incense rising from 3 of Sethra's vases of living souls. But what should we do with the Leopard Abet settlement? Something in ruin cannot be restored. Not to mention the Dreadwinter tree is deeply rooted there.
Then... how about purifying that tree? We're good as long as the living souls are alive. We're just borrowing the winter spirit's life force as we cleanse them of their pain.
Has the world gone mad? Will the sun now rise in the west? The fox is making sense. Well done. Now, let's go see the last vase of living souls.
Ah! What was that? Can someone explain to me what just happened?
There's that same foul smell that the monster at Bronte's bolt gave off.
Could it be that there's a path to their burrow underneath this Dreadwinter tree?
Let's go meet Ganzorig and send word by Hawk. We have to keep moving forward. Trying to fix a problem every time one rears its head is like trying to fill a bottomless pit. You must seek out the root of the problem. A leader who fails in this will bring only chaos.
All right, let's go meet Ganzorig.
Let us also see to Sethra's vase of living souls.
There, good bird. By Windknow's grace, please spread word. There is grave danger in the Highlands. Thank you. We welcome you as one of our own.
If I find kinship among the Highland people, will I find salvation from the mess that I'm in?
Look, all of the vases of living souls are breathing.
I can't believe we're already at the final trial. Huh? What do you mean, why did it take so long? The sixth witch is Kahel, the Witch of Distortion. A crown of colorful fingers bears the blood of the dragon, but no mouth to consume it. The mouth that can devour the darkest abyss was far too much for this world to bear, so it was locked away in a dark, deserted mountain to keep out of reach. The warrior of winter seeking to overcome the last witch's trial must find that mouth. If the mouth cannot be found, a void that the mouth cannot consume will overtake all.
Locked up in a dark, empty mountain so that none may approach.
It's probably referring to the Forbidden Black Mountains, the old name of the Sherakan iron mine.
Ganzorig, how do you know all that when you only stay within the Highlands?
Great wings can carry the hawk abets great distances. Powerful legs can propel the leopard abets great distances. And with this power, they can surmount the mountain of eternal winter. On the other hand, fox abets are skilled with their hands and are good at calculating. And deer abets are friendly and inviting, befriending all throughout the land. They can embrace every bit of the Highlands. The abets aren't the only ones who've come to the Highlands. The connections I've made keep me well informed.
I didn't know fox abets were good at calculating. Huh. So, then as a fox, there's no way you forgot about Prince Bahan's request.
Oh, you're right! How do you remember these things that have nothing to do with you?
I anticipated you'd forget. Don't make me regret joining you, and get moving. I will find a way to get inside the den of the barbarians. Why don't you keep close to that fox so that he doesn't wander off?
Lando, as a representative of the abets, has to offer prayers of gratitude to the living souls before he leaves. Though the Khan is absent, it's still fox rule. Since you are the heir of the Khan, you represent the abets.
I will be done in a jiffy. So, see you at Camp Alex.
If I'd sent him alone, I imagine it would have taken some time. With you around, things seem to be somewhat expedited. Then, let's see. This is Gardaka's code. Wait, is this all? Was there nothing else? Some small piece of iron? I see. This is why Mother said my older brother doesn't have the key. In secrecy, she loved her twin, and that love bore children. The oldest among them.
Your Majesty!
Atui, what else was on my schedule for today?
You're scheduled to make a visit to Maslan's Eula's citron orchard.
The owner of the Euless orchard is your run-of-the-mill abbess. I'll surely draw the eyes of the Papus, who will no doubt spread word of my visit.
Your Majesty, it's a risk you must take. You must cover up your secret with some commotion.
Indeed. I've had quite enough. Oh, and Atui.
Yes. This is Valerito's token of promise, from the first head of the Sezek. My ancestor, Muhad Balix, got it 100 years ago when rescuing the Sezek barbarians who all nearly froze to death when ascending the Mountain of Eternal Winter.
The barbarians. They were headed to the Sherikan iron mine, but took a wrong path and wound up at the Snowy Mountain instead.
That token was given to him as the promise of an unconditional invitation, once Valerito ceased wandering and established a nation.
Huh. A nation for a barbarian. A man with lofty ambitions, I see. Anyway, no good could have come from our military authorities getting involved with the barbarians. It would have been a precarious situation to manage. Can you give this to that fox, the Khan's heir? He should use it wisely. A leader must keep his fingers on the pulse of the people, and as blood of the Khan runs through him, he will become a leader in his own right. Oh, I don't mean to equate the barbarians to Elton. It's a small gift merely given out of concern, since he still acts like a child. But I was a bit curious about something. Who is that man in rags who follows you? He's a poor old beggar. Well, I could tell from the start that you were kind at heart.